DJ Think coming at you from a new angle, trying to truly work out this YouTube thing. This is a video I've wanted to make for quite some time. As you can see now, I have nothing in the background. I could actually probably run a green screen if I knew how to do anything on a computer, but hopefully this shows the 45s better. This is going to be a 45 video, not of a record label, but this is going to be, again, of a find video. This is actually a local find for me in Ukiah, California. I won't name the place, but I went in and I probably bought about pretty close to 145s, quarter each. You know, that's can always err on the side of caution when they're that cheap. Picked up a bunch of great 45s, and I'm just going to start right in here. Probably the top 3 scores I've gotten in my hometown, so it's a pretty exciting one. I'm just going to run this video for 10-15 minutes and give it a stop. These are going to be the best ones. We're going to start with the pick sleeves, and hopefully they'll all be very easy to view in this new mode here. So first off, I'm going to start with something I've never seen, even though I found the 45 a ton of times. This is the Monster Mash original pick sleeve. Monster Mash, of course, by Bobby Boris was his nickname. Get it, Boris Karloff. Pickett, and this was a huge jam. Actually, show the 45. I have a few jukebox tickets because this has actually been in my jukebox before. So that was a true find there. Next up, some more black and white pick sleeves. This time from the mid '60s. That one was from the '50s. This is Blue Cheer and Summertime Blues. Super early prototype for heavy metal, 3-piece, kind of loud as they can get, and I think everyone knows that song. Next up, we have one I don't know anything about. Another black and white 60s pick sleeve, The Rose Garden. This is a DJ promo. Maybe someone out there in YouTube land knows a little something about these guys. It's actually an EP. It's got 4 songs on it. That's on Atco. Also known as Atlantic Company. It's a subsidiary. Next up, we got the Rascals. Not the Young Rascals. They're all grown up here. Another 60s black and white pick sleeve. And another one with 4 tracks. So yeah, there's 2 tracks there. Probably difficult to see that, but pretty neat. Next up, similar band of the Rascals, 60s British band that was very influenced by what was going on from what's now labeled soul music of Americana, especially Memphis area. The Animals with the traditional New Orleans, the House of the Rising Sun, of course. Pretty classic color pick sleeve there. Keep in mind, I got all these for a quarter. I have since cleaned them up, put them in nice sleeves, outer sleeves, the Mylar clear sleeves that I got online. Next up, actually, I just got the sleeve of this. Didn't find the record, but I had the record. This is Walk Don't Run 64 by The Ventures, so it's a return to this song. Classic surf, obviously. I think most people know The Ventures. I guess more popular than the Beatles in Japan. Next up is a girl group. I knew nothing about this group. Pretty mod looking. They're showing off really nice. Sun Glare. This is the Chips with Break It Gently, and that's on Philips. Pink vinyl there. Okay, and then next up we have non-pick sleeves. Now this was the one actually my mother had went to this locale in town, and she sent me a list of a few records she had got, and I didn't know if it was going to be good stuff or bad. And when I heard this name, I immediately ran down there and purchased, like I said, like probably at that point, like 50 45s. I went back again to make sure I didn't miss anything. This is the Underdogs, and there is a tear in that. This is on Hideout Records. It's kind of a bad side there, but these aren't going to show quite as nice. Maybe I'll just do brief with these. But Hideout was home to Bob Seger early on. Whole bunch of Detroit white garage soul influenced rockers. It's an amazing label. I don't have much on it, but you should definitely check it out. There's some controversial type stuff on there too. It was home to the MC5 at the end too. I think the last 45 was MC5. And if you don't know the 5, well then, shoot, go back and check that out first and foremost. On to more Detroit stuff, and this is very unusual because it's Ukiah. California. I don't know how this stuff. I don't know where this collection came from, but they knew what they had. They knew what they were doing. This is the Richard Scott case on A Squared. Again, I believe an Ann Arbor label, Ann Arbor, Michigan label, where the Stooges were from. This is a very interesting 45. The flip is Who's That Girl? Really interesting listen. Very soul influenced. I would be pretty easily pressed to say, early, what would eventually be labeled Blue-Eyed Soul. These next ones are all also would be on A Squared prior, but then they got signed to Cameo Parkway, so the Rationals. Kind of like the early American Beatles, basically. The Beatles also were R&B influenced. I'm going to go through these rather quickly. That one was Leaving Here. Next up is Sing and Hold On Baby. These are all the Rationals. There was a ton of Rationals. Next up is the one the Rationals are famous for, and that is Respect. That's before Aretha Franklin. And that was actually originally on A Squared, and I found that too. It's not in this pile that I have here, so I already sorted that out. But yeah, the Respect cover also was done by a 60s group, the Vagrants, which was on the Nuggets compilation. This is a really soulful tune, soulful cover, and I definitely think you should check it out. Next up, speaking of Otis Redding, here was a white promo DJ for Otis Redding, and that's the happy song, A Dum Dum. And then probably one of my favorite ones in the whole lot, great 60s group out of San Francisco, Love, on Elektra, the Doors label as well. And that is Alone Again Or, which was famously done by Calexico as well, and A House Is Not a Motel. So Arthur Lee there, famous, awesome musician from the 60s scene, one of the few bands I really adore from San Francisco. Next up we got the Rivingtons. It's almost not worth showing these. This is the Bird Is the Word. So that would be later done by the Trashmen. This is a black group, largely vocal, aka doo-wop stylings. I mean, if everyone knows the Bird Is the Word, this is the original Bird Is the Word here on Liberty. Really great. Next up, found a fortune even in little old Ukiah. I most certainly did. This is a Nolan Strong. Nolan Strong, the Diablos. Diablos not credited on this. Fortune, of course, from Detroit, Michigan. Big influence on what would become Motown. Motown even stole some songs from them. But if you don't know Fortune Records, check them out. One day I'm going to make a video about Fortune Records because it's one of my tops. Next up, we got some obscure 60s stuff. We got the Crestones. She's a Bad Motorcycle, and this is a great listen. Flip is the Grasshopper Dance. One of the coolest things I found. The Crestones. Don't know anything about them, but that's why I dig for 45s, because I find stuff like that, and I mean, it's amazing. Throw that on in a club or something that wants 50s music or early 60s, and they're going to be like, wow, that's a great tune. And it's even got motorcycle samples in it. Next up, we got some doo-wop on Harold, Patty and the Emblems. Ordinary Guy, and Mixed Up, Shook Up Girl. Another great one. Harold is usually good. The Turbans were on Harold. Next up, we got Swan, Gabrielle and the Angels. Flip on that is Don't Want to Twist No More. Great listen there. Early 60s. Next up, we got a really old one. Doo-wop, The Crests with Model Girl. And We've Got to Tell Them. Hopefully the viewing on this is good. I can't really see what I'm doing. And I think I'm going to end on this one. This was the Safaris 45 that was in there, and it's Wipeout. But look at how good of a Wipeout it is. Red vinyl for $0.25. Can't beat that at your local thrift store. I tell you, I don't know whose collection this was, but when I got this home, started cleaning them, started sleeving them, started listening to them, all obviously, felt really privileged about obtaining this collection, not because of its value, but because of the fact that I was taking on some great music lover, some great DJ, probably collection that someone had just kind of passed on for whatever reason. Maybe the person had passed on and they didn't know anything about these records, but I mean, that's what I think about when I get these. And as an Old Soul member, I appreciate this Old Soul passing his records on to me where they'll be taken care of. Thanks for watching, everyone. Enjoy.